Hi, everyone. So it's Thursday. Welcome to another live with me, Zaben. So today we are going to be discussing getting back to source. And what does that exactly mean? What does it mean to get back to source? Sorry for all the banging you hear upstairs. My kids are running around. We've had a strike for school. The teachers are calling to ask for their rights to be paid more, to have smaller classrooms as they're burning out. And they've been requesting this forever. So we are all in support of them. And a lot of us here in Canada, Quebec, Montreal have our kids at home. They start tomorrow for a week, and then they're going to see what happens with the strike and if the government responds or not. So in saying that, that's to explain the sounds and the noises. So ignore it if you can't hear it. So what does it mean that we're kind of finding our way back to source? Oh, there we go. That's brighter. I was like, why is it so dim? So finding our way back to source, it feels deeply that a lot of us are coming to realize that life without the awareness of source, of God, is really hard to maintain. Life in itself is pretty hard to pursue consistently, disconnected from universal love, disconnected from source, disconnected from the creator of all, and only being within the program of our thoughts, within the program in which we are taught on the planet, our worth, our value, who we are. It also brings in a sense of loneliness and darkness and depressions and anxiety. It's a very dense space to be in when there is no coming back home to source, connecting to the divine, connecting to your true essence, understanding that there is a version of you that is more powerful than anything on this planet. There's a version of you that is the spark and the breath of source. There's a version of you that is complete unconditional love. There's a version of you that is at ease, in peace, in like this surrendered, when you think of this kind of surrendered, powerful feeling, this feeling that everything that is happening in the world is so much smaller than the greatness of the creator of all, than the divine. And a lot of times it happens with simple things, like you will daydream into the sky and you will just, your body will feel, oh, I'm getting goosebumps. Your body will feel a little overwhelmed with the largeness of the sky, right? The largeness of the clouds. Like, I love the clouds and I love the sky. So I'm sure many of you do too. But just looking up and seeing the endless sky and the thing, and just then noticing for a few moments how small my body is, but how large life is, right? It brings perspective back. Nature. Sometimes you look at a tree and you notice how thick the trunk is, how massive the branches are, right? And sometimes when you look at life in through the eyes of wonder, you get a feel of the creator, you get a feel of your power, you get a feel of your divinity, and you also understand how small you and your problems really are. Okay, so when we are really in the 3D, really in the humanness of us, the human version of us, everything feels exhausting. Suffering is intensified. Thoughts are overwhelming and they just don't shut up. It's just a lot of stuff. And I feel that we're all being called to remember, right? A lot of people are in their religions, and that is amazing, but also in religions, people are starting to discover what they were learning through other humans is very different than what they can learn as they look at their own scriptures and their own understandings through the eyes of divinity, through them understanding their own religion, their own spirituality, not through the dogma of human interpretations, but through their own inner wisdom that is showing. So it feels like a lot is being shifted around. if you are just a spiritual person and you're not part of religion right now, the same thing is happening. It's like we are all looking for a way to connect back to our truth. And source and the creator is truth, right? Universe. You can call it anything you want. You can call the energy, the thing that we cannot see, the thing that we cannot really remember. We can call that whatever you want. God, source, divinity, universe, life force, energy, creator of all, the beloved. I love the beloved. That's my personal, inside one. It's like, oh, my beloved is speaking to me. My beloved is here taking care of me. And it's like, we want to connect back to that version of us. We want to connect back to truth. That is truth. The program is not truth. That is truth. And I want you to know, it sounds easy when I'm saying it because you're like, yeah, well, of course. But then when stuff happens in life, or when you zoom into things, specific things, when you zoom into a problem you have, or you zoom into self-doubt, and you zoom into your own suffering or your body ailments or whatever, then that becomes larger than life. And it feels so hard to connect back to that which is the creator of all, to our beloved, to unconditional love, to trust, to being kind to yourself, to being loving to yourself. It feels really impossible to get there. And yet, it's the only space that feels good to be in, right? And even though it's hard, and we all are working so hard to get there, to reprogram ourselves, to pull ourselves out of the fear-based thoughts and patterns of life, to come back home. See, the main thing is, it's like coming back home. And I want to cry when I say that, because just the words, coming back home to me, coming back home to truth, is so overwhelming, because my whole entire body and essence knows that to be true. It's like, I want to come back home. I want to, this whole world of isolation and suffering and pain and fear, it doesn't feel like home. It doesn't feel like home. It feels alien, and it feels horrible on the body. And it feels like, it feels like being hijacked by something that isn't truly you, right? Doesn't it feel that way? But then when you say, I want to go back home to me, I want to go back home to truth, I want to go back home. What is home, right? And just think about it. What is home? Just let yourself answer that question for you. Where is home? What is home? Home isn't somewhere out there, right? Where is home? Home is back in here, in a peaceful place. Home is where source resides within us. Home is where, like, sometimes I'm just like, I want to go back home, and I look at the sky and I just remember the grandness of source, the grandness of God, the grandness of my soul, the grandness of all the possibilities, right? And then you kind of feel a little freer from the grasp and the hijacking of the egoic mind, right? So one of the best things to do, I believe, is be aware. Like, maybe you can constantly repeat, right? In repetition, we wake up that version of us. In repetition, we wake up a version of us that wants to connect back, that the version of us that is dying to find peace, that wants to go back home, that doesn't want to feel so alone on the planet when life is just crazy, right? The version of us that feels at peace, knows that we are unconditionally loved. You can breathe, anxiety can leave, right? So I really feel it's time for a lot of us to start heading in that direction, to start remembering, to start going back, to start bringing in the light of divinity inside our bodies, right? To just remember, to have that ability to like switch from being in the program and, basically abused by the program, and like just look in the side and see this light and just be like, that's home. This is my home. This is my truth. So home is truth, right? The truth. What's truth? Truth is everything is fleeting in time. Truth is problems come and go, issues come and go, people come and go. Truth is I can create my own reality, right? Truth is I'm a powerful being. I just need to remember how and what it is, right? And the more you spend time in meditation and contemplation, the more you just sit in stillness and feel what you need to feel as a human being, and also then bring in the version of you that is of the light, to love and care for the version of you that's in pain. You're not only the one suffering, you're not only the one in pain, you also are the essence of Source. You have that spark, you have that truth inside of you. And it's really hard now, and Mercury retrograde just kicked in yesterday, so we're in this for a while. So you may have disturbances in your communication, in your thoughts and electronics. You may not. Regardless of any of that stuff, I just want you to know that during this time and period, this where we are in the Mercury retrograde, as we always experience, you are even more powerful than whatever the Mercury retrograde is. And the fact that it's showing up is not a bad thing. This is for our own service. This is to allow us to maybe be silent more often, to express ourselves differently if need be, to go within and touch the spark of Source within us, to know what to say, when to say it, right? To not take things too seriously, how others react to us because we're in Mercury retrograde. It's a self-reflection, right? Your shadow will show up. Your limiting beliefs, your suffering and your pains will show up. This is the time where you bring in that essence, whether it's this small and you can barely see it, or it's this large, or it's completely expanded. You bring in the essence of you. You bring in Source light, that light to lavish you, to care for you, to pour light upon your suffering, right? All you can ask, this is a very nice mantra. I ask divinity to open me up to receive divinity. I ask divinity to open me up to receive divinity, because divinity is always there. The light is always there. Beauty is always there. And sometimes when we're crammed, right, and we can't see and we're stuck, sometimes we need a reminder. It's like we want to remind ourselves, and it feels like no friends, no humans, no one can help us when we're in that gunk. And you can ask, because divinity is always there, right? Divinity is always a spark inside of us. Divinity is all around us. Divinity, we're breathing divinity. This oxygen is divinity, is Source, is creator, is all that wonder, right? But when we're locked into the program, when we're locked in, we don't remember, okay? We've been like consumed, let's say. We've been raped, overtaken, molested. Just, it's a hell. Just remember, like, write it everywhere. I ask divinity to open me up to receive divinity. That's it. And this just came to me right this moment. Okay. I just felt that this is what needs to, I'm writing that down. I ask divinity to open me up to receive divinity, since divinity is always there. Just open me up to receive divinity so I can feel more at peace, so I can feel more at love, so I can deal with this pain. I can deal with what is happening. I can be present to all that. So I'll leave you with that today. This is the Thursday Lives just for you. Please let me know if these are helpful, if it's supporting of you, if these things, do you feel that I am offering you things that will help you during the week, little tools and little tidbits. So take care of yourselves. And please, I am relaunching. We are starting again January 3rd for Awaken to Your True Self. In there, we go into so much more depth. In there, there's like channeled messages that come through for everyone who is present in person there, right? The collective, you receive a lot of information. You ask your questions. You receive a lot from my end. We get to do sometimes meditations. It's whatever divinity starts to bring to me for the group of people that I am working with. And it really helps, and it really opens up, and it really shifts. And you'll be held, because we are all suffering the loneliness feeling. And this will really bring you back home, truly bring you back home, and make you feel like you're not alone in whatever you're feeling, that there are others out there like you. And in knowing that, there's something that happens. There's this vibrational community that feels really good, that that it's okay. You know, this person, they're all going through it. I'm going through it. I give myself permission to go through it and to release it. So you will receive a lot of transmissions from my end. It helps when I have a gathered group of people and then the information starts to just pour out. Let's call it channeling for now, but it isn't. It's something deeper than that. So just sign up, get on board, enjoy this journey. I truly offer from my heart, because this is exactly what I had desired to find when I needed it the most. So naturally, I created it since I couldn't find it. So hop on board, get on the link, January 3rd, right after New Year's, with your New Year resolution. You start this journey with yourself. You discover things about you. You start to like yourself a lot more. And then you start to love yourself. You start to accept yourself. There are things within you that you always want to change. And within this program, you'll discover the delights of it, your gifts, your special gifts. So take care of yourselves. Don't forget to give me a thumbs up if this resonates with you. Give me a heart, just because I love love. Give me a hug. I'm hugging my kids 24 hours a day. I love hugs. Leave your comments below. You have any questions for next Thursday that you would like me to answer and get back to. Please do that. Join my Awaken to Your True Self and take care of yourselves. I'll be also promoting and talking about the channeled healing meditations I offer, and I'm going to start offering them online next year. I love you all. Take care. Big kiss. Don't forget the mantra, divinity, please, divinity, open me up to receive divinity. Love you.